Hey, this is Adam Torres, and I'm here to tell you that it has never been easier to start your very own podcast. At Mission Matters, our goal is to amplify stories that matter. That means we want to help you start your podcast because your story matters. We can do this in 3 different ways. 1, join our podcast school and take a free or paid course. 2, visit our resources page where we've already figured out what you need, such as where to host your podcast. Or 3, heck, we can even do everything for you through our podcast agency, including editing for cheaper than you can do in-house. Oh, and no contracts, services month to month. Get started by heading over to missionmatters.com and click on Start a Podcast. All right, now let's get into the show. Hey, I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Mission Matters Marketing Podcast, your source for all things marketing. My name is Adam Torres. You can follow me on Instagram at AskAdamTorres. Keep up with my book releases, book tour schedule, signings, all that other good stuff. Always love to connect with you there. And as always, if you'd like to apply to become a co-author of one of my upcoming books, just head on over to the website, missionmatters.com, and click on Become an Author to apply. All right, so today I have Robyn Bennett on the line, and she is CEO and founder over at The Technology Queen. Robyn, welcome to the show.
Hi, Adam. Hi, everyone. Glad to be here.
Oh, my gosh. So best name for a company ever, The Technology Queen. When I was looking at the show notes, I'm like, wait a minute, I get to talk to royalty today? This is going to be awesome. So first off, I'm excited to get into today's topic. So benefits of hosting a virtual summit. I know that you're an expert at that, and you've helped a lot of people do it. So I think that's a very relevant and timely topic. So excited to get into that. But before we do, tell us a little bit more about your company, The Technology Queen, please.
Well, what I like to do is help entrepreneurs. This is like really the Reader's Digest version of it, is take their dream and put it on the internet by applying virtual summits and funnels to do so.
That's awesome. And I think that that's a great segue into today's topic. So the benefits of hosting a virtual summit. So lots of people listening to this, maybe they've heard of them and they'd like to host one, or they're thinking about doing one, but they don't know if it's right for them. I think it's a great topic. So where do you want to start with this one?
Well, I just want to sort of explain to people the value of hosting their own virtual summits, what it is that they really get out of doing this, compared to other ways of list building, growing their email list, say, from Facebook ads compared to, say, virtual summits. So
let's dive right in. Let's
okay.
Dive right in. Let's do it, Robyn. I'm waiting to hear it. I'm taking notes eagerly. Let's go for it.
Okay. So, hey, everyone. I just want to let you guys know just a little bit about me and virtual summits. I've been doing them since 2013. The first one I did was my own, and I was going to be a health coach. And I had so much fun doing the virtual summit, like preparing the back end, that I decided that that's what I really want to do. Forget the health coach. That didn't even bring me any kind of joy whatsoever. So I want to explain to you guys a little bit about what the process is and the importance of it. And in comparison to, say, something like Facebook ads, which, by the way, I have nothing against Facebook ads. I love Facebook ads. But the reason why I like virtual summits is because you get to, first of all, meet a lot of wonderful influencers and experts and people who are like you or were like you, and they've built a list, and they want to be able to support your message as well as theirs in an interview format. And what I like to tell my clients is, because sometimes people think, yeah, but I don't really know anyone, or I don't really know anything. What I do is we literally do some research for you to find your ideal, expert guest. And we send them, we invite them. We call that like the expert invite. We send that to them. And I'm not going to get into every little detail, but needless to say is that at the end, you ideally will have anywhere between 15 to 30 experts in your event. So what it is that and this is just for those who don't know, because I always thought everyone knew what a virtual summit was, but I have since found out that not everyone knows. So you will interview someone in your ideal niche. And some people say, well, what's in it for them? Like, why would, Adam want to, be a guest speaker on my event, for instance? So one of the advantages is that everybody agrees to promote your event to their email list. And what's in it for the guest is that they will also collect email addresses from everyone else's email list. And you also get recognized as an expert in your niche. I call it niche. I know some people call it niche. So that is one of the advantages for the other experts. I'm going to talk about what the advantage to you is, other than you're going to build your list anywhere from 100 people to, I've had people build their list all the way up to like 17,000 or 18,000. So it can go anywhere from one. Yeah. It's in the last few summits, I've probably averaged, I would say, anywhere between 12, 13,000 on average from the list builds that I've had.
That is unbelievably amazing. Like, just to put this in perspective, Facebook will charge you, $2 to $3, maybe $5, depending on your product and how let's just say how good your overall funnels are. It might cost you that much for one email. Let alone, you're not talking about thousands or even tens of thousands of emails built. Holy smokes. This is like turbocharging your marketing funnel, in my opinion.
It is. It's so amazing. And you want to know what the best part is that it's a warm list. Now, when you do a Facebook ad, you might put them through the funnel and you might warm them up. But when you're doing a virtual summit, these people are seeing you every day for anywhere from, 3 days to 10 days, 14 or more, it depends. I like to keep summits shorter, like I don't like a 30-day summit type of thing, and I have my reasons for that. But basically, these people are seeing you interview other people for X amount of days. So by the time that your summit is over, anyone who's still with you at that point, and that's like a good percentage of the list, they are very warm. They feel like they know you. And that's what happens when you get on the call with them. I remember one of the last summits I did for myself when I was doing strategy calls. That's all I kept hearing was, I feel like I already know you. And of course, they saw me interview all these, men and women every day, and the connection was there. So it was so much easier to lead them into different funnels because they felt that the relationship, they already knew me, they already liked me, and they were building the trust just from the virtual summit. Whereas if you're doing another format, and I'm not saying, like, again, I want to repeat, I'm not saying Facebook ads are bad because I love Facebook ads. I really do. It's just a different dynamic. And of course, a virtual summit is a 3-month process on average. So it's not like, if you do Facebook ads, you have to get money.
You answered my next question. Let's go a little bit further down there. So how long does a virtual summit typically take? Like, give us a little bit of the nuts and the bolts of that, what that takes. Because there's a lot of people right now that are like, holy smokes, wait a minute. I need to build my list. I don't have one. Like, what do I do? Give us a little bit more on the nuts and bolts of that, what it takes to pull one of these things off.
Well, it takes in general about 3 months. So I've done too much. So I've even had clients who are used to summits say, hey, in 2 weeks, we're going to do a summit. So, but if you want to really do one the way I see properly, it's like you have different stages. So first we find our experts and we make sure that they qualify. And what I mean by qualify is making sure that they want to promote your event. And also making sure that they have the message that you want for your event. It doesn't mean that they're bad if they don't want to promote. It doesn't mean that they're bad if they don't have that message. But that's the kind of experts that you're looking for. And sometimes we ask them their list size, but really and truly what we want is just someone who's really got the right message, who has our ideal audience, and someone who's really going to want to promote the event and share it with the world. And there's some stuff that I also share when people work with me for those like really big names who don't want to promote the event and what to do when that happens, because it does happen. And I'm going to talk about that really, really quick. Just say you have like a really big name and they're saying, yes, but we're not going to promote. That's okay. That's okay. They're called anchors. But even at that, it's happened more times than I can count where that person connected so well. They're like, I am going to mail for you. I remember someone once for one of my own summits saying, no, I'm not mailing. Had her on anyways. She was the biggest list that I ever got names from. Wow. So you never know. You just also go with heart, and that's how I work. I work a lot with my heart. So that's just one part, is getting the experts. Another part is building the landing pages to convert. And the formula for that differs, believe it or not, because we always have different audiences. So there's not one type of thing that works. So sometimes you're going to see a summit with all the speakers. Other times you're going to see a summit and you're going to think there's nothing here but the video and the opt-in. We do split testing on all these types. It is never for sure one or the other that wins. Never. It is amazing because, we're sort of taught, have the audience have the least decision to make. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this is what I want, sign up. But sometimes people want to know who's going to be there, if they're going to waste their time, and stuff like that. So when you work with me, I do split testing because I want to make sure that we have the right page for your audience to convert. So that is one of the things. And then we do also the interviews, and we have different ways. If you like organic, right? Like some people really love to organically interview, like you. Like it's just all sort of like, from the heart and all that. And other times people want to have like a list of questions because it's easier for them than, say, hey, give me 5 questions that you want me to ask you. And some experts love that because it helps them control their messaging as opposed to someone just coming at them with some random questions. It's all pre-recorded nonetheless, but it's still, so we give experts a choice. They get to offer a free gift. And depending on the virtual summit that you have, they can maybe offer an upsell, or you can give them commission off of any sales that you make off of the summit. And just so that you're clear on this, and I say this because this has been asked often, that the list that you're building is your list. You do not have to share it with anyone else. They're already building the list with their free gift. So it's yours to keep, to nurture, to sell to put through your funnel. So it's really important.
I love this story, Robyn. This is awesome. So that being said, I can talk to you about this all day long, but that being said, if somebody's listening to this, because we're about out of time, and they want more information on hosting a virtual summit or working with Her Majesty, the technology queen herself, what's the best way for people to reach out and to connect with you and your team?
Well, they can just go simply to thetechnologyqueen.com. And I always say the because I'm not just any technology queen, but I am the technology queen.
I love it.
So that is where they can find me and different ways that they can work with me from summits to funnels.
Oh, that's amazing. I love this, and I love what you're doing. So that being said, thank you again for coming on the show today and sharing more of your background and all the great work you're doing over at The Technology Queen. And to the audience, as always, thank you for tuning in. Hope you got a lot of value out of this. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast, leave me a review on the Apple iTunes Store, and if you're watching this on our YouTube channel, Mission Matters Marketing, definitely give us a subscribe there, but also leave us some comments on the video. Love to know what kind of projects and things that you're working on. And Robyn, thanks again for coming on the show.
Thanks everyone. Thanks, Adam.